You see this right here? This is my disaster. Listen. The sound that you can hear is the micro SD card, which has more than 5.5 hours of my audio recording on that I don't have a backup for. And the reason for it is because I have been recording an audio version of my book, and I promised that will be ready for my clients. So I've been really excited about it. Before you say anything or think, why have you not backed this up, Pete? You're right, I back up everything. My book, I had multiple backups, online, offline, on my external hard drive. Everything I do, I always create a backup. But for whatever reason, I checked the sound with this, it was absolutely spot on, and I just powered through and got 5 or 6 hours of recording done. And then this morning, I woke up early, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna finish off my book today. And I've got probably 2 hours of recording. What a way to start, by the way, it's Sunday morning here at 7 a.m. What a way to start my Sunday, to get this book signed off fully with the audio recording. And I thought I'd just check what I've got so far. I took the micro SD card out of the mixer, put it in here, and it somehow slipped all the way in and disappeared to never be found again. And I feel like this thing is indestructible. I've spoken to a friend, he's gonna see if we can use like an electric saw or something to get into it. But the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because probably even a year ago for sure, something like this would have absolutely destroyed me. And mentally, emotionally, I would have been fuming. But I've gone through it this morning, and this is one of the things I've been saying throughout this year. When a few friends have said to me, Pete, you know, you seem so chilled these days. And okay, it helps that I've moved to the other side of the world, but it's not about that. And it's not the point in this video. I feel that what has happened is that I've become more unfuckable with. It doesn't mean that I'm not ever affected by things, but when it's money or a situation like this or anything, I don't feel like I have the same emotional reactions to what I used to have a year ago or 2 years ago. And I've been observing this in my clients a lot as well. I think one of the things that stops us, and I might be wrong with this, let me know your thoughts below. I feel like one of the things that stops us is that we just put too much emotion into everything. The client who messaged me the other day, and she said, Pete, you know, I'm really not sure, like, should I put this into my Facebook group or should I put this other post, and these are my options. I feel like I'm failing at the moment. I went back and said, it's just a Facebook post. And in fact, we'll go another step, it's just a Facebook group. Like, who cares? Like, do what you want. Use option A or option B. I'm not saying that we should, sorry, I've got pigeons that live, and they live here, oh, right there, you see? And that's the mum, and she's on her eggs right now. There's a whole freaking family here. Oh, the babies are there too now. They've hatched. There's baby pigeons, I don't know if you can see. So if you can hear anything in the background, that is because we've got baby pigeons out here. I can't do much about that. And up here we've got birds. I don't know what breed of bird, but they're in and out of here the whole time as well. Probably should do something about that one there. I'll leave the pigeons to it. So the pigeon background noise, again, something that would have really affected me before is hearing this pigeon in the background. Oh, I can't do a video now. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I see this in my clients all the time, that they're simply putting too much emotion into their business. And because they're putting too much emotion into their business, or whatever it might be, they always feel like they're failing. I know from personal experience, if you feel like a failure all the time, it's going to be impossible for you to succeed, because I believe that this is not a universe that rewards you for hard work. It's a universe that rewards you for who you are. So if you constantly feel like a failure because you're putting so much emotion into every activity, you are in a descending spiral of confidence. So you are validating your lack of confidence through the fact you're putting so much emotion into everything. Therefore you have expectations, and most of the time those expectations are not going to be met, and you're just going to be proving that you are less and less confident. Does this make sense? I don't know anybody who sustains success in their life. And when I talk about success, I'm talking about everything, not simply business, relationships, happiness, like being able to sustain a level of fulfillment, happiness, and to feel calm in your life, to be at peace in your life. These are skills, right? going deeper than this, a derivative of it, is that we must be in an ascending spiral and realize who we are is what we're getting. That's what we're pulling into our universe. By the way, if you follow me already, then you know that my what I specialize in is sales transformation. My business is peaceful sales and consulting, because I've come to the conclusion throughout my own life and my own overthinking and getting stressed about things that, number one, I no longer work from a place of stress and anxiety. It just doesn't serve me. But I no longer work from a place where I feel like a failure. And going back to my situation, wait, it's not making a noise anymore, but I still can't see it. I'm sure I'll be able to get to it later. But going back to my micro SD situation, it's given me the opportunity. I mean, I had to breathe through it, don't get me wrong. I am not completely immune, but what was fascinating, I didn't have an instant flare up of emotions like before. I was like, oh, now it's moving around. I thought, okay, let's stay calm. But then it gave me the opportunity to say, well, let's just shift in a different direction. I'm in flow, I'm up early. What shall I do instead? I'll film a YouTube video. Oh, great. I was going to do a video on a completely different topic, but this seems more relevant. So I want to ask you, because I feel that this is such a powerful thing. Are you putting too much emotion into your business? Are you putting too much emotion, therefore, and this is the derivative, are you putting too much emotion into every move every day? Are you waking up on a Tuesday morning or a Sunday morning, whatever day it might be, and you're going, okay, I've got this to do today and I've got that to do? That is not the place you need to operate from. That is survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, everything you're going to be doing is short term. You're going to be chasing the money. You're going to be chasing the next client. Even when you do win, you're not going to enjoy that for more than a few moments. And this might seem counterintuitive, because surely we must attain a level of success before we grant ourselves permission to, quote unquote, be at peace or be calm. Well, that sounds like a life of impossibility, right? Can you imagine spending your entire life, like just how irrational it is to spend your entire life feeling like a failure until you've achieved a certain level of some made up success that you have in your head? I used to believe there was a certain amount of money that I needed in my account to be happy. And then I achieved that level of money. I then had other worries. I was worried about losing the money. And I mean what I'm about to say. There was a time where, as a business, we had hundreds of thousands of dollars or pounds in the account. And my accountant called me and he said, Pete, you know, you're tracking this year, he said, you'll be a millionaire even after tax. Yeah, the business will have £1 million just sitting in the account after everything. All the bills. It was just unreal that we could have that. And it was building up over a period of years, right? And 3-4 months later, I had like £2,000 in the business account, because I was so emotional about everything and I put so much energy into the business in terms of emotional energy. Therefore, I didn't truly believe that I deserved that success, because that's where it was coming from. I got myself in a descending spiral. I started feeling less calm and grounded and centered within my own space, paying all these different people, and I was bringing in staff, and I brought in a friend of mine, and he did the best that he could, but he wasn't the right fit for the job. And all the money just went so rapidly. It was incredible to see the account go ka-dung, ka-dung, ka-dung. I sat there in an empty office, no staff there, and I looked around and I thought, we've gone from having 2 years, 3 years of finance in the bank just sitting there. I don't know if I can even afford this office for another month. Sure enough, you can look at the strategic decisions, the way that I ran the business, but all the strategy was off the back of how I felt. And how I felt created my leadership. And it's taken me a few years to come full circle on that and bring everything back to me. So I no longer work from a place of stress and anxiety, because it's simply not worth it. Because the more emotional charge you have, I guarantee the more it's going to stop you doing anything. These videos here on YouTube, I'm doing YouTube every day. I used to do YouTube and feel so stressed about that I've got to do another video, and feel so overwhelmed that, oh my goodness, and it just felt like I was pushing the entire time. And teaching sales and consulting, peaceful sales and consulting, one of the biggest things that I've learned is that if you are forcing and you are pushing, you are stuck in survival, and it's not going to be working. Imagine sitting with somebody and you're going to invest thousands of pounds or thousands of dollars with them, and they're clearly stressed or anxious or overwhelmed. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're buying into a separate product, so for example, if you're buying a car, you might not care or have that much correlation with the salesperson. Maybe you just know it's a good deal. The car's the right price, it's the one that you want, it's in the color that you've always wanted, so you go ahead and buy the car. However, when it comes to buying from a personal brand, from somebody that is going to create a real change and transformation in your life, you're infinitely more likely to buy from that individual if they operate from a place of calm. If their guiding system for life isn't one of chaos and destruction. They've shifted, they're calm, and that makes you, as a buyer, feel like, okay, I'm safe buying from this person. So I want you to think about the amount of emotion you're putting into your business. I'm not saying to not be passionate. I'm not saying to avoid giving 100% every day, but you can't give 100% if you're operating from survival. So that's what I want to share today. And I said this in a video, I think yesterday, I don't really care if this video gets 10 views or 1 million. I would love to have 1 million, but getting 10 views, that's wonderful. I've had 10 people that have viewed my video and hopefully it's brought some value to their life and perhaps created an aha moment or a breakthrough. Getting 1 million views, wonderful. And that's also, and I'll use this word, my expectation, because I'm putting out content that helps people. The more that catches on with the algorithm, the more people will view my videos and the more people can benefit. It makes sense, and of course I'll be excited when I get 1 million views, but what I've learned is no matter how much money or views or status you have, you must remain calm in the process and not add too much emotion. This doesn't mean you become stoic in everything, but it does mean you operate from a place of calm and of course, peace. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I'm going to figure out how to get this SD card out of here. If not, I need to refilm the whole thing, which is okay. You know why? Because maybe I'm meant to practice doing more audios. You never know. Have a good one.